Morning, good morning, everybody. How are you all? Are you all good problem solvers? Do we see solutions or do we see problems? Somebody once said, don't bring me any problems, bring me solutions. When we have an issue going on at work or even in our family, in our relationships, and you want to point it out, it's always good to come with a solution. You know, I see this isn't working properly. What about if we do this? But if nomás nos estamos quejando, you know, we're just complaining, and we don't offer any solutions, then that becomes an issue. So we're gonna talk about problem solving and being customer service representatives. We need to be quick on our feet, quick in our minds to think about ways we can solve whatever problem gets presented our way. And our objectives for this particular chapter are to describe the steps involved in solving customer service complaints, identify why people are complaining, why customers complain, talk about the conflict management styles and strategies that we can use, and discuss how we can win people back. Anybody ever try winning back your significant other or the love of your life or anything like that? We have an attack plan, right? As to how we're gonna win somebody back. And with customers, it's the same thing. We need to have a win back plan, and we're gonna talk about how we can exactly do that once customers are lost and they don't wanna come back to us for whatever reason. So we're gonna understand why people complain, what their complaints are, why customers complain, the difference between a disagreement and a conflict. Is it the same? Is it different? How can we resolve both? The complaint handling process, and also using a script for this part of our chapter in problem solving and understanding why people complain. Why do you all complain? When it comes to products or services, any major complaints you have all had lately? When it comes to goods or services?
Too expensive.
Yes, too expensive. I agree. I remember when a McDonald's meal would cost me like $5.25. Now it's almost $15 for a burger, fries, and a Coke. Things have gotten super expensive. Why else? Why else do people complain? We talked about expectations a few chapters back. When a customer's expectations are not met, they're going to complain. Remember I told you about my trip to the Aloha Hawaiian place, and it was all hyped up and I was expecting so much and it was horrible. We're dissatisfied. Dissatisfied customers, we steer away. We take our business elsewhere. We don't want to give our hard-earned money that takes us time, that takes us getting up in the morning, that takes us driving I don't know how many miles to our workplace, spending almost all day there, and getting our paycheck, which represents our hard-earned money, the dedication and time that we have, to give it to some company that isn't valuing us as customers. We all want to be treated good, right? We all want to be treated nicely. We want companies to appreciate our business. So if we're not getting that, if customers aren't getting that and they're not satisfied, well, guess what? Nowadays, there's so many places that you can go to. You don't like the food here, you can go to another place. You don't like these shoes, you can buy 100 other ones that there is. You didn't like this place that you went to vacation, well, guess what? The world is a huge place. And even if you're going back to Hawaii for the third or fourth time, you didn't like that hotel, you're gonna go somewhere else. So companies need to strive to keep their customers satisfied. And us, as the frontline people, the ones that are there in the trenches, we are the ones responsible for that. So when customers are upset, when customers are dissatisfied with a service or a good, we have a first call resolution. You call the service rep, and in that first interaction with you as a service rep, you quickly resolve the issue. And look at you, you're awesome, you're a superhero, and in one call, you satisfied the customer, and the customer is happy, and the customer continues purchasing the item or getting the service, spending their hard-earned money with the company because you resolve the situation in one call. And sometimes that does happen. Sometimes it's a quick fix. Anybody ever call customer service and it was something that got taken care of right there in less than 5 minutes? You were probably on hold for 5 minutes, and once the customer service rep got on, you got your problem resolved really, really quickly. When customers are dissatisfied and customer complains, we will see the negative effects of their dissatisfaction, right? All of a sudden, they don't pay their bill. All of a sudden, they're being rude to the customer service rep. All of a sudden, they're using negative word of mouth and telling everybody on their social media that this company provided horrible service or this particular product is horrible. Did you wanna?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the restroom.
Okay, you can use that. When taking care of dissatisfied customers and trying to avoid having them leave our company or not provide us with their business, our response times are very important. Who hates waiting on the phone for the customer service rep to get on? I hate it. And 45 minutes later, with that mind-washing music that they put on there, it's so annoying. It's so annoying, and your problem is still there, right? And I think that wait time, all it does is make some customers even more upset. So our response times when dealing with dissatisfied customers have to be quick. Establishing firm guidelines, right? With saying, we'll be right with you, it'll be a few minutes more. Most companies have that electrical response. Your call will be answered in the next 50 minutes. And every 10 minutes, it's telling you, your call will be answered in the next 40 minutes. They should have a real person do that, because I think that's just more annoying to have the electronic voice come on there. So causes of customers' complaints. Product service. Poor quality of product. I did not like this. It did not meet my expectations. I ordered this dress. It wasn't as pretty as it was pictured in there. Billing errors. Anybody ever have to fight a billing error? And the company says, no, yes, you did do this purchase. Failure to provide timely refunds. Sometimes when we ask for our money back, it takes a long while. I'll tell you, for my ski trip that I just took, we were gonna go on a snowmobile, and we purchased it and the weather canceled it out. So they called us back and said, you know what, it's gonna be canceled. It's been 2 weeks and my credit card is still showing the purchase and I have not gotten my refund. So I'm gonna give them 1 more week, and if not, I'm gonna have to call, because it's a lot of money. Sales practices. The advertising is deceptive. Advertising products are not available. It says this will be available, it's not there. They show you a picture of something awesome, a beautiful dress, and you get it back and it is horrible. There is countless reviews on Amazon that say, this is what I ordered, this is what I got. I even think they have that, there's people are doing segments on TikTok now, right? This is what I ordered, this is what I got. And they show the picture of what they ordered and it's totally different, the color is different. So these are some reasons why people complain about the company and people complain about what they're getting from a certain company. And if they're getting these causes of complaining, it's most likely that they're going to end up leaving us. They're not gonna want to give us their money. They're not gonna want to purchase our products because we are lacking in these areas. So those can be some of the reasons why customers will complain and call the customer service reps. When they have a cause for complaining and they call the customer service rep, we can have disagreements and we can have conflicts. Even in our lives, we can have disagreements and we can have conflicts. Is there a difference between the two? Javier, what do you think? Is there a difference between disagreements and conflicts?
Yeah, because disagreements just sounds like there's a civil disagreement, and more conflicts it just sounds like you're fighting with one another.
A disagreement, anybody can have disagreements. We all can have a disagreement. I can have a disagreement with each one of you. A disagreement is simply a difference of opinion on any particular issue. Yesterday it was raining. Is it raining today? No, when you guys came in? Okay, yesterday it was raining. There's so many people that tell me, I love the rain, I love the rain, I love the rain, I love the rain. If you know anything about me, I hate the rain. I hate it. That is a disagreement. Is there a right or a wrong answer? No, it's a difference of opinion. Are you going to change my mind? No. Am I gonna change your mind if you love the rain? No, it's a difference of opinion and we will all have disagreements. Now, a conflict is different. A conflict involves a serious clash of values, perceptions, or ideas. And conflicts can jeopardize productivity. Conflicts can jeopardize relationships in our lives. Come on in. But when we have a conflict, there is some good that could come from it. We can understand another person's ideas. We can understand ourselves. Maybe our idea will be transformed with the conflict and hearing somebody else's perspective. And it enhances our relationships with others also. So there is some good that can come from conflicts. But when we have a conflict, the best thing to do is to quickly resolve it. And we get into a conflict with a customer, that's what we should do. To be able to maintain their business with us, be the person that is going to resolve the conflict that they are having in a smooth, calm manner where we're understanding them and providing them with what they need. So good results can come from conflicts. We can understand somebody's ideas, we can understand ourselves. Have you all ever gotten into a conflict with anybody and in the heat of the moment, you think you're absolutely, positively, without a doubt, you're right? You're right, you're the one that has a point and the other person is crazy and they don't know what they're talking about. But then, once the fire's out, once we catch our breath, once we calm down, have you ever said to yourself, you know what, they were right and I was wrong? Anybody ever have that aha moment? No, you're just always right. One day you'll have it. One day it will come. That's what you have to look forward to in your life. And when it's happening to you, you're going to remember that curly hair professor that was in front of you saying, yes, yes, I had that moment. Because sometimes in conflicts, we learn about ourselves. And yes, in fact, we might be wrong. A conflict can help us transform our own behavior and our own style of communication. Foster positive and meaningful relationships with others, because sometimes a relationship can get stronger after a conflict has been resolved by two people. Maybe that might apply to whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Maybe that kind of thing. And a conflict with a customer can bring change to a company's practice. A company is doing this particular thing for many, many years, and this is how we've done it. And there is no precedent as to doing things differently, but all of a sudden, right? Times change, the world changes, society changes, and companies need to find themselves changing. I'll give you an example. Here at school, back many, many years ago, classes were only offered in person. And if a student didn't come in person, well, guess what? You wouldn't pass the class. Now with all of the technologies, and there was a little bit of conflict between the campus wanting to provide online classes as much as they do now, and with students wanting online classes. So now the campus has changed their outlook, yes? Even with this class, you see that there's only sometimes up to 8 of us in here, maybe 6 of us in here, but there's a whole lot of other students online because some of the students said, you know what, it's a little bit hard for me to get there. And the campus gives us that flexibility to say, okay, it can be done online. So a company can change its practice. And of course, bad results come from conflicts if they don't get resolved. If you do not resolve a conflict, not only with the customer, but in your life, we have accusations and threats. We can sever a relationship. There's retaliation. How about that retaliation? People always want to get back. They always want to get back at us. And it's hurting the company. They want to hurt the company or get even. Even in our life, right? We have a conflict with somebody and we don't resolve it. And all of a sudden it's posted on social media. You did this, you did this, you did this, you did this. And people want to retaliate. So we need to quickly resolve conflicts. Use the strategies that we're going to talk about for a customer to feel that we are concerned about what they're feeling, how they feel, and that we want to make them happy and have them stay with us. So we have a complaint handling process. How are we going to handle this complaint? Somebody comes and all of a sudden they're upset. They're upset about a product, upset about a service, upset about being here on campus, and they can't find a certain office, and they come and they're here and you're the person that is trying to help them. We should have a customer relations policy. How do we deal with customers? All companies have these complaint handling processes, and they have a customer relations policy that tells you, as a customer service rep, how exactly are we going to handle this situation? It is the foundation for how we resolve complaints. Now, do you think that it applies to all situations? It doesn't. It does not apply to all situations because situations can be different. And there can be some modification to the customer relations policy that we have. But it's a slight tweak that you're gonna do depending on the situation that you are having. Having this should be simple, effective, and quick. It should be provided to all customer service reps. They should be informed as to what the customer relation policy is. It's, you can say, I hate to use this word, but it's like a cookie cutter method that this is how we're going to deal with the complaints that customers bring us. The customer relations policy should also encourage customers to communicate their concerns. Do we want people to complain? Do we want people to complain? Would we prefer they leave? Yes. And now your business is closing down. Out of business sale. Now, complaining, it isn't always bad. When a customer buys a product and they come to you and they tell you, you know what? This product is not good. It lasted me a week, it broke down, and I would like my money back. It's actually good for the company to hear the complaints of customers. Because if customers don't complain, they're going to leave. And when they leave, they're going to take their money with them. Let's apply it to a relationship. Anybody here ever been in a relationship? You don't have to tell me, but when we're in relationships and we don't tell our partner, you know what? I don't like this, I don't like that. Can we do this differently? If we do that, the situation will get resolved. If we don't, it will just boil inside of you, explode one day, and then you'll be out the door. This same thing applies to a customer. If a customer doesn't come and let you know what is going on, then we are going to lose their business. So a customer relations policy should encourage, as bad as that might seem, customers to come and complain and to let us know how their experience is going so that we can better the experience for them. I think the last chapter, the chapter before, that's what we talked about, right? We get all this data, we develop a plan, we develop the SWOT analysis, and then we offer customers a better experience. It was a circle, and they give us their feedback, and then we take it again. So we want customers to tell us what is going on. How is it that they're experiencing the products or the services that we're offering? And a customer relations policy should also conform to federal, state, local laws and regulations. We don't want to get sued for anything. We don't want our company to get sued for anything. So it needs to conform. And the customer relation policy should always be posted and should be available to both customers and to customer service representatives. Why? Because that way, you as a customer service rep know what you're supposed to offer, and the customer, as the person buying, will know what they will receive and how their situation will be treated. So contrary to what Hernan is telling us, Hernan, sorry, yes, we do want our customers to come and tell us about their experience. But I guess we're human, right? And we never want people to point out our flaws. We never want people to point out what we're doing bad. But how else will we change? How else will we better ourselves if we don't have somebody who is giving us constructive criticism? So basic steps for processing a customer complaint. Somebody calls you. Somebody calls you about the product. Let's say you just bought an iPhone and they're having issues connecting. And you take the call. This is Apple, how can I help you? What are we gonna do? Basic steps for handling the customer complaint. First, we're gonna screen and log in all information. When you're taking a complaint, it is a best practice to take down all the information. A few years back, customer service reps, the first thing they would ask you, at least in the experiences I had, was, can you please give me a number in case we get disconnected, I can call you back. Anybody ever had that? That is important logging in of information, because before they started using that best practice, what would happen? You would get disconnected and all of a sudden you're calling back and it's another 50 minutes on the phone that you're waiting. So that was a great practice. Screen the call, log in as much information. What is your name? What is your product? What is your concern? What is the issue? Listening, listen, active listening. Are we good listeners? Or do we need to develop our active listening? Be quiet, pay attention, don't interrupt. Active listening, paraphrase what they're telling you. Say it in a different way so that the customer feels like you are actually paying attention. Thank the customer for bringing this to your attention. Thank you for calling us. We are going to try our best to resolve your situation. Empathize with the customer. Don't just act like you understand. Don't just act like you care. Actually care and empathize. I'm sorry that you're going through this situation. I am going to do my best to try to resolve it. I am going to use all my resources to try to get this matter settled for you. Empathize with the person. Solicit feedback, ask questions regarding the issue. You tell somebody, fully understand ask questions until you're fully understanding what the problem is. Ask them to give you feedback. You know, is there anything that you would prefer me doing? Apologize. Should we apologize? The steps, the basic steps for processing a customer complaint tell us to apologize. Why are we apologizing? Were you the one who broke it?
No,
Were you the one who gave the bad service? So why are we apologizing?
for their experience.
Right, for their experience. What were you gonna say, Hannah?
Kind of the same thing.
We're apologizing for their experience. I'm sorry about the problem and the inconvenience that this has helped you. When a customer is very irate, these soft words, the act of apologizing, the act of empathizing with somebody, well, that's gonna bring the fire right down. That's gonna settle people so that we can actually get into the process of fixing things instead of just fighting with people. If we have to deliver bad news, we need to do it in a positive manner. Don't just slap them with the truth and we say, oh, well, that's the truth and I'm gonna tell them. No, we have to ease our way into it. We have to inform people quickly. I'm not sure if I will be able to refund it for you, but let me look into all the avenues. Our policy says that we are not allowed to refund, but let me see what I can do. They're letting them know that they might not get their refund back because of what your policy is. But remember that we had empowering of customer service reps where management gives us up to a certain amount of money to say yes, and you might be able to. You might be able to do that. I'll give you an example. One time I hit the return button on my Amazon and they give you up to a month to return the product. And it clearly says that after that month, you can't return it. So lo and behold, I got busy with whatever I was doing and the date expired. It was still there on my account. So I got on the chat of Amazon and I said, you know, this expired on me. I'm sorry, I've been so busy. Can I please take it in? So the policy says that after the month, you cannot return it. You cannot take it back. The person who got on the chat with me said, sure, I'll give you an additional 3 days. It had just expired like 2 days before and I noticed. So the person came on there. So sometimes, yes, even though it says no and the person is telling me I will not be able to do that, our policy says we're not able to, but let me see what I can do. Sometimes there is a positive outcome. Take ownership and formulate a solution. Avoid ping-ponging people around. Here on campus, that happens a lot. in the different offices, and all of a sudden people are coming into the office and they send me here, they send me over there, they send me here, they send me over there. What can we do in those situations and not have to ping pong people around? For example, they send me here, they send me over there, they send me over here. Our office actually does not take care of that issue. If you're trying to pay for your health fee, our office does not take care of that issue. But they went over to the Veteran Center, the Veteran Center sent them over to admissions, admissions says, we don't do that over here, they send them over to the information booth. The information booth said, it's over there in that building. So they walk into the office, we're the first office that they see, and then they got all this went around, and now what are we gonna say? We're gonna say, well, no, we don't do that here either. Which is correct information. But if we want to take ownership of whatever the poor student is going through, whatever situation is happening, what are we gonna do? We're gonna say you're in the right building, and that gets paid in the fiscal office. Come on, I'll show you where it's at. We're just gonna come out here, we're gonna go down the stairs, right here in this office, you're gonna take a number, and when they call your number, you come in. Or on campus, we have connections. In businesses, we have connections with other people. People that work in the office, when I worked in the office, I had connections in other offices. I would take them to a connection that I had, and I would say, Obi, this student, you know, they've been running around on campus for the last 2 hours. Can you please help them? Right? Because you have those connections with people. So take ownership and find a solution, see it through, instead of saying, well, we don't do that here, go over there. If you go downstairs, then the poor student will probably walk into another office. So we want to take ownership and really, really help. Communicate a solution, communicate clearly and appropriately, be straightforward, but of course, always respectful and courteous, providing all of the necessary explanations so that the person can feel comfortable. We want to make the customer feel like we really care about what is going on with them. And of course, follow up. I've taken you all with me on my journey of my Murphy bed and the fact that it was messed up. Well, they called me, is everything okay? Do you need anything else? Did you get your products? And I didn't answer the email and I didn't answer the phone call either, because they called me one time when I was here. And they called me again. They called me a few days later. We just want to make sure everything is great. It shows like you got your product already. And I said, yes, everything is perfect. Thank you so much. After 2 times of it being delivered, it finally didn't arrive broken. And it was so funny because the first 2 times they kind of sent it in this box, and it's a long molding, and it kind of shakes in the middle. So of course it was gonna break. So the 3rd time they sent it, they padded it with foam. It was like this big. I said, what is this? So when I opened it, the molding was really, really padded. So I guess that's how they prevented it breaking. The moral of the story is follow up with your customers, make them feel, and that did make me feel like, oh, she really, really does care. You know, that that my complaint was followed through all the way to the end. I was like, maybe I should send her a picture of my bed and it's all done. A lot of customer service representatives, their companies provide a script. Anybody ever feel like the person is just reading off a script? I have. It doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel, it feels read. It feels like the person is just reading. Oh, they told me this, I have to say this. They told me this, I have to say this. I was trying to look for that movie, but there's a movie I saw a long time ago. And the person is just, you know, welcome to Wally World, or welcome to the burger place, the home of the famous burger. How can I serve you? It's, that's it. I couldn't remember which one it was, but yeah, that was that one. it's a script and it's being read, right? But if he would have done it with with enthusiasm, with a better attitude, then we wouldn't be able to tell that it was a script. So companies do have scripts to determine dialogue that states how to respond to a common problem. There's a common problem in the company. The person is always calling about the same thing. This is how we're going to handle it. But we must deliver it sincerely. Don't act like you're reading. Don't read off it. If possible, memorize it. I have a nephew, he's always doing fundraising. He's in football. And he's how old is he? He's 10. And he's always doing fundraising. And on Saturday, sometimes he's knocking on my door. And my brother takes him to all the family. And at the beginning, when he starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, he's recording them and he's reading off the script. My name is Noah. I am in the Rebels. I am a football player and we are fundraising for whatever, for equipment or for helmets. Do you see my helmet? It is very, very dirty. It is very, very old. We want to get new helmets. So by the end of his fundraising day, which my brother takes him to all the family and friends, my class is usually the last one because they'll hang out there for a little while. By the time he gets to my house, not my class, my house is usually the last one, and he'll be there and hang out and bring lunch. By the time he gets there, he's a pro at it. He already went to like 10 or 15 houses and he's a pro at the script. The first one, not so good. So I get the finalized script. And he's a little bit more enthusiastic. He's not reading off it. And he's a little bit more sincere. So practicing the script will help us make it feel like it's sincere, like we actually do care. But I think that feelings cannot be faked, or it's very, very hard. There are some people that are good at it. As customer service representatives, that should be one of our skill of caring for the customer and wanting to provide excellent customer service. And have the 4 key elements when delivering the script: be empathetic, acknowledge them, reassure them, and act. We want to act. Let them know what they're going to get. Let them know how we are going to resolve, right? Reassurance, reassure them that we are here to help them. That is our job as customer service representatives in whatever situation it might be. If we're cashiers, if we're serving at a restaurant, if we're at a call center, reassure people that yes, indeed, I am here to help you. And that is my job. And that is what I'm going to do. And I think that if we cannot be caring, if we cannot be empathetic, if we cannot take care of people the way they deserve to be taken care of, then we're in the wrong field. Maybe we need to just sit behind a computer, or we need to do something different, because customers deserve the best from us, and they should get all the help that we can provide. And many companies do this. They do have a script, and we can use the script, but the situation will not always call for the script. So we need to be careful with that. So problem solving. We have a problem solving process, and listening and responding for problem solving. So the problem solving process, what is the first critical step that we are going to do? First step we're going to do is identify, well, what the heck is going on? What the heck is the problem? Why did you come? Identify the problem. We need to identify the problem before we can get over here. There is no way we can find a solution or take care of the situation if we don't know what it is that's going on. Analyze the problem. Now that we know what the problem is, dissect the problem, analyze the problem, get down to the nitty-gritty of the problem. Okay, how often is it happening? Is it a severe situation? What's causing it? How long has it been going on? Is it getting worse? Is it constant? What triggered it? All of these questions that we can ask to analyze the problem so that we can really be able to find a solution. Find a solution. First, know what the problem is, analyze the problem. Identify decision criteria. What do we need? What do we need in order for this to be resolved? Do they need a refund? Do they need a replacement part? Do they need a whole replacement item? What exactly is going on? And we need to identify what it is we need. And then develop multiple solutions. Be objective, assess the pros and the cons. Okay, can we do this? Can we do this over here? Amazon does that greatly, even through an automated system where they're telling you, do you need a replacement part? Do you need a replacement of the whole item? Or would you like your refund? Multiple decisions. And then after we have multiple decisions, choose the optimal best solution for the issue. If the person wants a refund and we're allowed to give refunds, here you go. Here is your refund. The person wants a replacement part, here you go. Here's the replacement part. I got those options when I first called and said, this thing is broken. And they told me, would you like to return the whole bed? The whole Murphy bed, would you like to return it? Well, no, I don't want to return the whole thing. It's just these two pieces are missing. These two pieces are broken. Okay, so would you like me to send you the two pieces? Yes, please, send them ASAP. So there was a choice of solutions and the best optimal solution for me, for my situation, was the replacement parts. But it's very important to identify first the situation. How can we fix anything if we don't know what is broken? Sometimes a plumber comes to your home. You might have the shower being filled with water, but the problem is not in the shower. The problem can be somewhere else. You might have a clog in the rest of the house and the water is just so happening to come out at the shower, out of the bathtub. So the plumber has to come in, identify the problem, not come and try to fix the tub because that's really not what's going on. He assesses the situation and tells us, okay, there is a clog in the kitchen sink, or there is a clog in the main drain. We need to flush it out. And then the water will leave. So identifying the problem first, what is going on? And then we can get to an optimal solution where the customer is going to be happy. If the plumber would have started plunging my bathtub, he would have never fixed it because the problem was not in the bathtub. The problem was in the main drain that they had to unplug. So that is our process. During the process, listening and responding. Determine whether you're having a disagreement or there's a real problem. I think that customers are going to call customer service centers when there is indeed a real problem, not necessarily a disagreement. Analyze your interests as much as the customer's interests. If the company's interests are not giving refunds, but the customer wants a refund, see what the possibility is for you to actually give a refund and have a satisfied customer. Brainstorm creative solutions and generate ideas together. Remember, we talked about teamwork. We have a whole team, and a lot of cost centers are just like these computer stations. One person's next to the other, next to the other, next to the other. And we can ask for help to other customer service representatives at Target or at the Cheesecake Factory or here on campus. If we're working at a desk, we can ask our teammates, what is the best solution? And if we cannot resolve a situation, we try and try again. We make low priority concessions. If the situation is not resolved and we try again, try to circle back. Okay, let's try to reanalyze what's going on and let's try to brainstorm some great ideas of something that we can do. And if that doesn't happen, then we try it again. But we are always having the customer in first place. Effective problem solving. Access to knowledgeable, willing customer service representatives. Customers want to know, hey, there is somebody that I can talk to. There's a person willing and a person who knows what they're doing and they can help me. And this person is going to accept responsibility and is going to apologize for the situation. They're going to explain the policies to me. They're going to assist me in the best way they can, and they're going to follow through and deliver on what they promise. I've been with Verizon for a long time. Since before cell phones were famous. And everybody and their mama had a cell phone. And they used to promise these like, oh, we're gonna give you 3 months, and you would call with an issue, right? And oh, we're gonna give you 3 months free, and we're gonna give you this, and then nada, nothing. And they would make a lot of promises and then they wouldn't follow through. That is bad for a company to do because sometimes our word is all we have. If we're gonna say, this is what I'm gonna do, then this is what I'm going to do. That is great character. That's a great personality trait to have. If you say something, then you live by your word. That's what you say. And companies need to have that, or else the person's gonna go elsewhere. The person is not gonna wanna do business with you because you're not following through, you're not explaining, you're not taking ownership. And I really don't have anybody that is going to listen to my concern. So therefore, the customer just ends up leaving. In problem solving, we need negotiating skills, learning conflict management styles, and conflict resolution strategies. What is negotiating? Anybody here ever negotiate anything important? With your parents, with your partner, with your boss, with your company? It's an interpersonal process requiring give and take. I wanna go here, no, I wanna go here. Okay, let's negotiate. What about if this time we go here and next time we go there? And with negotiating, there is a negotiating process. Describe what you want and feel. Express why you feel this way. Acknowledge other perspectives. Look for solutions. And again, choose one solution. And once you have that solution, put it into action. Let's put it into action. In negotiating, we need to find the solution that is feasible for both parties. We are negotiating, right? You're not the only one that's gonna win. I'm not the only one that's going to win. We're gonna agree and we're gonna come into a common ground where we're going to negotiate. And yes, both sides describe what they want. We express the way that we feel. We acknowledge the other person's perspective. We're gonna look for those solutions, choose one, and we're going to implement it. And maybe that person didn't get everything they wanted, and this other person didn't get everything they wanted, but together we come to a common ground. And that's hard because most of the time we just want our way. We wanna be the ones to win. And if it isn't my way, then it's no way. But negotiating is a great, great skill to have. Conflict management styles. There's 5 different conflict management styles. And if you have a chance to look at them, you can kind of gauge yourself and say, which one is the one that I am, kind of falling under? sometimes according to our personality also, that'll be our conflict management styles, but when using any conflict management styles, the goal is to de-escalate the conflict. Put out the fire. A lot of times we just throw more wood in there, huh? Somebody wants to fight with us and we're gonna fight back and we're gonna throw more wood in there. So maybe you might wanna use one of the 5 different management styles depending on the situation or the personality that you have and the personality that you are dealing with. A competing management style. Competing management style is more like assertive, action is needed now. You know, maybe you want to encourage a customer to order the product quickly because it's flying off the shelves or because you're not going to have it in stock pretty long. So you're there, you're very assertive and you're competing with the customer and you're saying, wow, you need to order it now. You know, what about if we take your credit card information and we get you this product right away? A little bit more on the assertive side. Accommodating. An accommodating management style is somebody who is going to cooperate, not so assertive, right? Replace maybe a customer order due to a faulty delivery, accommodating to whatever the customer needs. Avoiding. You might be really good at avoiding. We postpone things, right? Procrastinate. We don't want to deal. We physically withdraw ourselves emotionally, physically, intellectually. We withdraw ourselves and we don't want to deal. And we want to use avoiding management styles with our customers. And sometimes that's why people get ping pong from one place to another because we're avoiding the situation and we don't want to fix it. Collaboration, finding a creative solution to a problem, solving together. Let's come together, let's collaborate together to see what ideas we can bounce off each other. You have one idea, I have another idea. Let's reach the idea together. Is it the same as compromising? Is collaborating the same as compromising? No. Compromising, we are finding a middle ground. Okay, I will let this go, I will let that go. But we're going to find a middle ground where everybody is happy. Maybe the customer wants a whole 6 months free because their internet wasn't working for a whole day and they missed an important meeting at their home. Or I don't know, they couldn't watch their favorite show. And the customer service rep says, well, I'm sorry, you know, I can give you 2 months free. I can give you 1 month free. So we're going to compromise. No particular side wins. We both give in a little bit and we compromise. On a side note, in any relationship you have, there's some serious compromising that has to be done because we're all different. Conflict resolution style. So we're using our strategies and we are going to have different results. The conflict management styles can lead to win, lose, 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 or win-win. Anybody ever hear that? Oh, win-win situation, win-win situation. That's an optimal outcome, win-win. What does win-win mean? We both win. We both got what we wanted. Win-lose situation, one person is the triumphant one, the other one loses. Lose-lose situation occurs when nobody wins at any particular time. And what we want as customer service reps is a win-win solution, a reasonable solution that is reached to satisfy the company's policies and also the customer's needs. And we can reach a win-win situation with focusing on the customer's interests, Separate the people from the problem. How often do we attach people to the problems? And we attack people on a personal level. It isn't personal. It's the problem that we are trying to attack. Offer a variety of possibilities and put in effect the best solution. And that is how we can get a win-win situation. Our customers in our companies, in our stores, when they're walking in with their hard-earned money to wanna, purchase something, a good or a service, they are our allies. And remember that the customer is what is important in any company because they're the ones that keep the company running. So do we want them to feel like we won and they lost? No, because they won't come back. We want them to feel like they won. They won, we won together. They came with their complaint. We heard their complaint. We empathized with their complaint. We offered different solutions. And in the end, maybe we negotiated a little bit, right? They wanted more than we can give. And we had we had to put into effect our negotiating skills. But in the end, it resulted in a win-win situation. And the customer walks away to live another day and to purchase more of our products or come back for our services, which is what we want. And that's gotta be our attitude. I just think in life in general, right? Win-win situations in every aspect. But since we're talking about customer service and offering, customer service services to our customers when they come back with a complaint, be able to offer them a win-win situation that they feel they won. Because if customers do not have a win-win situation, customers are going to leave. We left our cable, was it cable? I think we left our cable provider, and then now I don't remember what we have, but the cable platform that we use, we left one, we went to the other one. And we left one because it was getting really, really expensive. So now we left. And now that company is trying to get us back because now they saw that we are no longer their customers and they're trying to implement an effective win-back plan. Because in the many customer service interactions that we had with this company, I don't remember what company it was, they were very bad. We didn't feel like there was a win-win situation, so we left with somebody else. So now the company is calling us and sending us letters in the mail and sending us emails. We want you back, we want you back, we want you back. Companies, when they lose their customers, need to have an effective win-back plan. How am I gonna get you back? How am I gonna get you to come back and spend your money with me? What did I do wrong? What can I offer so that you can come back? Now, like in many relationships, this happens. The person doesn't treat the other person the right way, and then the person leaves, and then they're trying to get them back. A lot of companies do the same thing. They should treat customers nice when they have them there with them and when they're giving them all of their hard-earned money. So in order to have an effective win-back plan, we need to understand why customers leave. And we talked a little bit about why it is that customers leave. Plain and simple. Why did you leave? Because you're dissatisfied with the product, with the service, with the billing, with the accounting, whatever it might be. And also identify some benefits that we can learn or that we can have by all of these complaints that customers have. So customers walk away for a few reasons. They don't have anybody to complain to. Hernan was telling us, no, don't complain, don't complain. So they feel, I don't have anybody to speak to. And when I do speak to somebody, well, they're not taking care of my issue, so my problem is not getting resolved. And if you don't have anybody to talk to, your problem doesn't get resolved. In the end, the customer ends up feeling like the company doesn't care about me. The company doesn't care. The company doesn't care. A few years back in the banking world, Bank of America was a huge bank. But Bank of America had this issue that Bank of America, since it was so huge, they had a lot of companies, large companies, banking with Bank of America. So the millions of dollars that companies had in there were their top priority. And the little guy, you know, you have a few thousand in there or you're living paycheck to paycheck. They didn't really have good customer service with the little guy. So these banks like Chase and Citi and Wells Fargo swooped in and said, well, we need to focus our efforts on the little guy. And all of a sudden you had all this migration of the little guy, right? Hardworking people, maybe living paycheck to paycheck, that were now switching over to these new banking institutions that were prioritizing the little guy. So people feel, hey, the company doesn't care. They don't care. Well, of course they don't care. They have millions of dollars over there. They don't care about me. And then customers feel like you don't care and they take their money elsewhere. And how do companies know that people are leaving? How do they know? Remember we talked about the customer relations management system where we're giving them all our data when we're logging in. They have all our data, when we shop, what we purchase, how often we're purchasing it. And when they go and they do their data mining in their data warehouses where all this data is stored, they see Hernan has not bought this particular product in 2 years. Javier has not come into the store in 3 years. And how is it that they do that? Well, now everybody says, do you want to apply for this rewards program? Let me have your phone number. Let me have your email. And we quickly enter it into the system. And every time we visit the store, we punch in our number and they know how often we're going into the store. And all of this is in the customer relations management system, and they go and they dig it out. And now they're developing an effective win-back plan to get you to come back. So what do a lot of stores do? I get a lot of emails when I haven't shopped somewhere. Sephora is great at doing that. Here's a 50% coupon. We haven't seen you in a while. Come by and buy something. I mean, 50% off, $40 cream, that's $20. Sold, I'll go get it. I'll log in right now before this coupon expires, which you only have like about a week or two. That is a great win-back plan. Because as consumers, Isaac mentioned, things are so expensive. Things are getting so expensive. So when we see a discount, we could save money, especially if we're trying to be frugal, right? And live on a budget with our funds. We want more bang for our buck. And companies use this effective win-back plan, discounts, a free gift. Order this from Sephora. If you spend $50, I'll give you $50 worth of items. You know, free appetizer. The cheesecake sends me. We haven't seen you in a little bit. You haven't come by. Enjoy this free appetizer on us. So of course, if you're gonna go, you're gonna buy an appetizer. What else are you gonna buy? You're gonna buy a drink. You're probably gonna get 2 or 3 cheesecakes, depending on who you go with, and an entree or 2. So they're trying to win us back. They have this win-back plan. If Sephora gave me 50% off every time I shop there, I wouldn't leave. I would just continuously shop there. And in this win-back plan that we have a win-back message. What do we want the customer to know? What did Sephora want me to know when they send me the 50% off coupon? Hey, we haven't seen you in a while. They went into their data mining, into their data warehouse, and they saw that I haven't purchased something in 3 months. So here you go, come back, right? They look into the customer's past. How often were they shopping in their data mining through the warehouses? And they're pointing out the improvements, you know, and the changes, like, oh, we have this new collection here. You might want to spend your 50% off coupon on this new items that we have, right? They want to re-engage us and they want to get us to the end game, which is place an order again. The 50% coupon wasn't just because they were feeling nice or because they missed me. That's a lie. They didn't miss me. They missed my money, but they missed the business. They want me to continue being a customer of theirs. So they provide us with a meaningful incentive, you know? 15% off, nah, I don't think that would have gotten me. 20% off, that wouldn't have hooked me. But 50% off, have you ever been on Sephora? Some of those things are expensive. So 50% off is going to hook me, and it did. I bought myself something. So they have this message to us when they're implementing their win-back strategy, right? Yes, we might complain. Yes, maybe our problem didn't get resolved. They didn't offer me a solution that would make me stay. But now in the last efforts to keep me as their customer, they have developed this win-back message attached to a win-back strategy that is going to get me to come back. And first, maybe they said, well, is she unhappy? Did she have a complaint? Maybe she didn't like the changes. Is she feeling that she's being taken for granted? And all of a sudden, these reasons why we left disappear. Right? We're enticed. We're enticed by the offer that they gave us. We're enticed by the free item. We're enticed by saving money. And maybe, yes, we could have left because of all of these reasons. And they understand that. They understand, okay, there are some reasons why she left us a customer. Maybe the prices were too expensive. But now in implementing the win-back plan, they say, here you go. Here's a coupon. So why do they want to understand why we leave? They want to understand why we leave so they can get us back, so they can win us back, so we can continue being their customers. And we do. Now I know, to finish the class, we don't want to hear complaints. Don't bring me any complaints. Hernan said, no, we don't want people to complain. But there are benefits to customers complaining. Hard to believe, but yes, they are. When somebody complains, it is a perfect opportunity to see where we can improve. How can we fix this so that it doesn't happen again, so that other people don't go through the same thing? This news of complaining, this news of deficiencies is going to go up to the top level managers, the middle level managers, the low level managers. And they're going to develop a strategy so that this doesn't happen anymore. Remember, they take our feedback, they take it up to management, they develop the SWOT analysis, and then they turn it into a customer strategy plan, which they send out and see how it works. And then they get feedback back from us. Complaints give value, content, and insight for service education programs. Many of the customer service representative workshops that you can take or trainings in different companies use the complaints as examples of what to do or what not to do. If you're working in Target, or if you're working at Starbucks, or you're working anywhere you're working here, even here on campus, right? You're gonna have some type of training program, some type of educational program where they're gonna tell you, this is how you treat people, this is how you resolve situations, this is the plan, this is the policy for complaints, this is a negotiating strategy that we're going to use. And all of this is developed by the people who are at the top, by the initial complaints that come in. If somebody's complaining about the line being too long, I'll give you an example. Down at the fiscal office, the line was always very, very long. People couldn't fit inside. People were standing in line. Sometimes it was raining. You don't want to stand in line. You gotta kind of, so they purchased a ticket system. You pull out the little ticket. As soon as they're ready for you, you don't have to stand there in the line. You can be seated somewhere. You can be, you know, a few steps away under the little, they have a canopy out there. So they were getting complaints from the students. This system is not working. Okay, let's develop a ticket system. And now the people in the fiscal office were trained in the ticket system. They pull the ticket, they have, once they're ready for the next student to come in, they have to hit the little button that they have there, and it turns on the light that the window is available, and outside it sends a message, please come to window number 2. So now we have a system, right? We try to fix the complaints. I don't think it went up to the president. It probably went up to the VP to say, we want to purchase the system to solve the complaints that we're getting from the students. So there are benefits of customer complaints. So we need to be open as customer service reps to listen to the complaint, and that way we can help the situation the best way that we can. So thank you, everybody, for being here today.